Okay, children, today we'll discuss about viruses. Viruses is a crystalline structure when it is outside the host. Okay, it's non-living. When it is inside the host only, it is living. So this type of parasites, all viruses are parasites. All viruses cause infection only, whether it is in human being, whether it is in animal, in small organisms also like bacteria, they always cause diseases, so they are always parasites. And since they are not living outside the host, they are called as obligate. An obligate parasite cannot live outside the host body. If you take the size of virus, it is from 0.02 micrometer to 0.35 micrometer. Okay, someone is asking me how will it reproduce, we'll discuss one by one. Okay, you ask whatever. So we'll discuss about reproduction later. Here you see, this is the size of the virus. What does virus body consist of? Virus body consists of protein coat, any nucleic acid inside it. Nucleic acid. It can be a double-stranded DNA molecule or it can be a single-stranded DNA molecule. It can be a double-stranded RNA molecule. It can be a single-stranded RNA molecule. Okay? What do you mean by double-stranded? If there are two strands like this, it is double-stranded. If it is only like this, it is single-stranded. So it can be any genetic material. It can be DNA or RNA. Only one strand can be present or two strands can be present. All are possible. Okay? So if you observe the general structure, a protein coat is present outside like this. Inside the genetic material is present, and most of the virus have spikes like this. This spikes, so when you draw coronavirus also we draw spikes like this. This spikes lets the virus to identify which cell it should infect. These are protein spikes. When it touches the cell membrane, when the spike touches the cell membrane, it identifies whether this is the cell that should be infected or it's not the cell that is should to be infected. So these are spikes. This is protein coat. This inside one is called genetic material. It can be RNA, it can be DNA, it can be single-stranded, it can be double-stranded. Okay, so do all virus particles have these structures? Recently, there are some viruses identified named as prions. These prions have only protein particles, only proteins, no genetic material. There are some viruses that are identified as virions. They have only genetic material. Only genetic material. They do not have any protein coats. So there are some, they are just particles outside. Outside the body of organism, it's just a protein particle that is floating in the air, that is present in the water body or any other material that is around us. Anywhere it can be present. Okay, only protein if it is present, it's a prion. And if only genetic material is present, it's a virion. If both these are present, it is a virus particle. Whom does it infect? There is no limit that it infects these organisms. It does not infect these organisms. You take, for example, plants are infected by viral diseases like, I'll write to it, 1 minute. Plant viruses. Plant viruses. Like you take TME virus, tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus. Next, so many cauliflower mosaic virus. Animal viruses. Animal viruses. Recently, few years back, we saw the Ebola virus, which infects chimpanzees, bats. So there's swine flu, swine, the virus which infects the pigs, and you take coronavirus, it's affecting human beings. There are so many things like that. Even bacteria is infected with viruses. Bacteria virus is called as bacteriophage. Bacteriophage. So this is the most important infection that viruses does. Why it is most important infection? If this happens, so this see this is virus is the most abundant organism. Sorry, bacteria is most abundant organism. Virus is also found everywhere. Whenever it has to undergo replication, it easily infects any bacteria. Such type of bacteria, such type of viruses which infect bacteria are called as bacteriophages. So how do they reproduce them? Their reproduction is very fast. Their reproduction is very fast. We'll see the example of a bacteriophage virus, how it reproduces. Okay, this virus is of various shapes, viruses of various shapes, like spherical. Some of the most of the plant viruses are spherical. Even our SARS virus, coronavirus is also spherical. You take the bacteriophages, they are polygonal in shape. Some of the viruses are polygonal shape. Tobacco mosaic virus, it is rod shaped like this. Inside, in the center, the genetic material is present. Around it, the protein coat is present. Okay, the soil is protein coat. Protein coat is made up of small units called capsomeres. For every virus, it is like this. Protein coat, smaller units of protein coat are called as capsomeres. Smaller units of protein coat are called as capsomeres. Okay, we'll see how the bacteriophage reproduces. We'll see the reproduction in bacteriophages. See, general structure of bacteriophage, it is having a polygonal head, one neck region, and the spikes are like this. Like a spider's legs, it is having spikes. So here in this region, neck region, there is a small opening. So whenever it finds any bacteria, I'll draw here bacteria. So this is a bacteria. Whenever it finds any bacterial body, what does it do is it makes a hole in this bacterial cell wall and induces, here genetic material is there, this genetic material will pass through this neck region and it will come into this bacteriophage. So this is the genetic material. After the genetic material enters, this protein code is not valuable. It just gets shed off. The important part of the virus particle is this genetic material only. What will happen to this genetic material? So let me write the reproduction of virus. So first step is recognition. It recognizes the surface using the spikes. After that, penetration. Penetration means this genetic material has entered into the organism. Next step, replication. Third one is replication. How does this genetic material replicate? So already this bacteria has certain plasmid molecule. Along with this plasmid molecule, this virus will enter this plasmid. This is the plasmid. This is virus DNA. Now bacteria will not understand that something has entered into this site. Why? Because there will be certain regions in this plasmid uh, DNA where if it is cut also the bacterial genetic material will not be damaged. It does its all functions normally. Okay, such sites are called as recognition sites. It will identify that recognition site. This virus will identify that recognition site. It breaks that DNA into, it splits that region of DNA and it makes its place. Now, whenever this bacterial DNA is undergoing reproduction, whenever it is multiplying, it will definitely produce that part of this viral DNA also. So, in this way, viral viral DNA replicates with bacterial DNA. Bacterial DNA. Once it replicates and produces so many number of such copies, so many copies of this viral DNA are produced. At that time, what will happen? This is present inside the bacterial cell. So many copies of viral DNA are produced like this. Now what it will do? Assembly. It will assemble again inside the bacterial cell itself. It assembles itself and forms so many such viral particles. Using the proteins that are present inside the bacterial cell, again it assembles to form a complete virus particle. So many virus particles will be formed. So after so many copies are produced like this, it makes its way, ruptures the cell wall and comes out. So viruses are coming out. So this type of reproduction is called as lysogenic cycle. Lysogenic or lytic. Sorry, lytic cycle. This type of cycle is called as lytic cycle. Okay. There is one alternative cycle for these viruses which is called as lysogenic cycle. Okay, before that we'll see summarize once lytic cycle. Lytic cycle includes recognition, penetration, replication. Fourth step is assembly and fifth step is release. Okay, the virus recognizes the bacteria that it should infect and it will attach to the surface of the bacteria. After that, penetration. It will penetrate the genetic material into the cell wall of that, and slowly the genetic material enters into the cell of that organism. After that, what happens? Replication. That viral DNA will associate with the bacterial DNA and replicate along with this bacterial DNA. So many copies of viral DNAs are produced. It uses the proteins that are present inside this bacterial cell and assembles to form so many viruses. Once so many viruses are assembled, it will rupture the cell wall and releases out. So many viruses will come outside. Okay, I'm drawing only three, but hundreds of viruses will form from one bacterial cell, and this is lytic cycle. What happens in lysogenic cycle is virus knows well that once it is out of the bacterial cell, it is not alive. So what it tries to do is it continues its life like this only. For so many generations, it continues like that only. It replicates with the viral DNA. I'll show you. So this is the bacterial cell. So whenever the bacterial DNA is replicating, the viral DNA also will replicate. And as a result, this bacteria, why it is replicating for cell division only, no? So bacteria will divide into two cells. Bacteria is dividing into two cells. So that virus is also carried. So now this bacteria will divide into two cells. This bacteria will divide into two cells. So this is also having viral DNA like this. This is also having viral DNA like this. So as many daughters as the bacteria produces, those many viral DNA will be present. So those many bacteria, all those bacteria have viral DNA. Whenever it wants to replicate, again it will enter into lytic cycle. Again it will enter into lytic cycle, and as a result of this, so many viral particles will be released outside. So that cycle is called as lysogenic cycle. This cycle is called as lysogenic cycle. We'll see the basic structure of at least one or two viruses. Suppose, let us take the structure of tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus length is 300 nanometers. It is made up of smaller units of proteins. The coat is made up of smaller units of called capsomere, and if you break open this protein coat in the center, you can see there is a single stranded genetic material. If you cut this open in the center, you can see there is a single stranded RNA is present in the center. Okay. So same like that, I have shown you the structure of bacteriophage. Even the HIV virus also has a protein coat. Sorry. Single stranded RNA is present in the center and spikes are present. So what it does is this type of RNA is called as RNA virus is called as retrovirus. This virus, it has HIV virus. It, it has capacity to produce DNA from RNA. This we cannot do. Our body do not have that capacity. We can produce RNA from DNA. We have capacity to produce RNA from DNA. But this is a rare case. RNA can produce DNA. Okay. This is because of the presence of enzyme. There is an enzyme in the body of this HIV virus which is called as reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase is an enzyme that is rarely found in these viruses. Some of the viruses which are called as retroviruses. Okay, HIV is one type of the retrovirus which has enzyme reverse transcriptase. So it can produce DNA from RNA. As a result, many types of viruses are there in the world. Yes. So as a result, what it happens is because it is able to produce RNA, it will take complete authority over our cells, immunity cells. Okay, it attacks our immunity cells and makes us weak. That is why it is called as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. We are decreasing our immunity, we are decreasing our disease fighting capacity because of infection of this virus. So that is about some types of viruses, some of the topics about virus, children. Okay.